My name is Rebecca Moore, and today I will be presenting to you my career portfolio. I would like to begin with a brief summary of my resume. At the top, you will notice that I am scheduled to graduate second of my class this spring. Below that is my work experience, and below that is the extracurricular activities and the volunteer work I've done during high school. Next is the leadership positions I've held, qualities I believe leaders should have, and my personal leadership philosophy. And below that are the honors I've received that I'm most proud of. I'd next like to talk about the career I chose to research with this project. I chose to go with accounting, and when I began my research, I noticed that there are two major fields of accounting: public accounting and private accounting. And I chose to really focus on public accounting because public accountants have the opportunity to work in almost any geographical location, while public accountants need to work in more of an urban area to be able to work with different companies. So I first looked at what a public accountant does. And a public accountant mainly examines financial documents and prepares tax statements. I looked at the skills that were necessary to be a good accountant, and I realized that detail orientation, organization, computations, communication, perception, and visualization are all important skills that accountants should have. And I also realized that I have all of these skills. I next looked at the education that accountants have, and I realized that 0% of working accountants have less than a high school education, while the vast majority of accountants have a bachelor's degree in accounting. Which leads me to my next point of what an accountant is typically required to have. I learned that a high school diploma is necessary, a bachelor's degree in accounting is usually what they have, a public accounting experience is necessary, and you must also pass the uniform CPA examination. I next looked at what was helpful high school courses that would help be a good accountant as you started college to go into accounting. And I realized that accounting, computer applications, entrepreneurship, business technology, keyboarding, teacher aid, and web design would all be useful courses that could be taken in high school. And I also realized that I'd taken most of these. And after I did that, I looked at colleges that would help me become an accountant, and I realized that Northwest Missouri State University would best help me with this. And you may be wondering, why did I choose Northwest? Well, Northwest has a 97.8% placement rating for graduates in this academic area. They also have the opportunity to go major in private industry or public industry, which would help you be more specialized in what you want to accomplish. They also have many internships available, which would help me gain that valuable work experience that is required to be an accountant. So that is why I chose Northwest. I next looked at the salary for CPAs, and I learned that the salary for CPAs in Missouri is slightly lower than the United States average, and it is just above $54,000 per year. I looked at the job outlook, and though Missouri has a slightly lower job outlook at about 15%, compared to the United States, it is still higher than other occupations overall. I next looked at career-related education that I have that could help me be an accountant. And I realized that being involved with sports could help me become an accountant, because being in sports allowed me to learn many valuable characteristics such as sacrifice, which would be helpful as an accountant, focus, which would definitely be necessary as an accountant, teamwork, which helped me accomplish my goals with the help of others, and dedication to the job at hand. I was also involved with many organizations such as the Future Business Leaders of America, Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, National Honor Society, and BAND. In many of these, I had leadership positions, and I helped organize and participate in many community projects, which helped develop my character. I also qualify for A+, which proves that I am of high character. And I also helped do a career research project in accounting, which helped me determine what area in accounting would be most fitting to my personality. I then looked at educational enhancement. I really looked at myself, and I tried to determine whether I thought I'd make a good accountant. And to do this, I job shadowed a lawyer last spring, And I learned that a lawyer is similar to an accountant because they must keep accurate records, they must work with the law, and they advise clients. I also job shadowed a judge last spring and learned that they also work with the law, they must be organized, and they are trusted to maintain client confidentiality. This spring, I job shadowed an accounting firm in St. Joseph, Missouri, and I learned that in Northwest Missouri, the main accounting clients are small businesses and farmers as opposed to individuals, and that there's more public interaction with the small firm rather than a large firm, which made me realize that I wanted to be more involved in a small firm because they have the opportunity to work more with the public. I also completed an internship with the Worth County Collector. I completed all of my responsibilities with this internship. I did much of the paperwork. That would be similar to being an accountant. I also completed an accounting simulation in my Accounting 1 class where I completed the accounting cycle as I would for a sole proprietorship if I were an accountant. I next looked at special skills that I believe I possess that would help me have a sole proprietorship as an accountant and help me succeed as an accountant. And I realized that I have Adobe Photoshop skills, which would help me make posters, letterheads. I also have Microsoft Publisher skills, which could help me make brochures and newsletters. I have web designing skills. I can use online hosting services, Dreamweaver, and I can make websites. And I also have Microsoft Excel skills, which would allow me to create monthly budgets and use formulas to update it easily. So through this project, I learned about accounting, and I realized that I thought I would be a good accountant. And I thank you for viewing my portfolio.
Is there a way you can go back to the special skills section?
Yes. Which part? What? Do you just want to see it?
Yeah, I just
okay.
found it.
I'll back up a little bit. Yes.
What is the economic outlook for an accounting career?
An academic outlook?
No, like the economic outlook of accounting degree?
It's about 15% growth rate, so it's increasing.
Were you able to make any comparisons between the Missouri salary for an accountant in your area as opposed to like the national salary? Or
Yes, well, not specifically to Northwest Missouri, but Missouri in general, I did compare.
what was that comparison?
For the salary, the United States average is about 64,000, while the Missouri is about 53.
You have your like Adobe Photoshop and the Excel skills and stuff. Is there anything else like particular that would help you excel?
As an accountant. Do you mean like as in being able to do things? That would help me?
Yeah.
I took Accounting 1 and I was top of my class in that. And the reason I included the Photoshop and the Excel and the web design is I want to have a sole proprietorship in a small town, and I want to be able to advertise for myself, and I believe these skills would allow me to be successful at that. So.
Awesome.
What would you say is your defining moment in your career-related education?
Whenever I started this, I really didn't know what I was going to do. And whenever I realized that being an accountant would allow me the freedom to work anywhere I wanted, and would allow me to have, and has a high job outlook, so I knew if I went into this, I would have a job. And I realized I could do it in a small community. That's when I really decided I want to be an accountant.